Kia ora and welcome back to Cooking with Kath. So we have a birthday in our whānau. My lovely great niece Isabella is turning 13, and so today is kind of party baking with Kath, and I'm going to make cupcakes. And so this is a great recipe because it makes loads of them, at least 24 cupcakes, and I'm going to do it in two parts. So today I'm going to show you how to make the cupcakes, and once they're all cold we'll come back and I'll show you what I do to bake them. But they're really great and kids love them, even teenagers, as Isabella is turning 13. So I've turned my oven on to about 180 degrees. If you're fan bake, a little lower, probably 170, 160. So that's heating up as we go. Now I've mixed up my butter and sugar already because it's really loud with my mixer. So let me tell you that I put 150 grams of softened butter in the bowl, and you whisk that on its own until it's really nice and fluffy, and then add your sugar, which is about 1.5 cups of caster sugar. So I've done that, you can see there, just so that it's not too noisy. So after that you just add your eggs, 2 eggs, so one at a time. Add the first egg and mix that up with your butter and sugar mixture. Do them one at a time, it just helps kind of aerate everything. Do that slowly, mix it in there, not for too long, but once it's looking nice and creamy, you can stop and add your second egg. So that's 2 eggs into your creamy, yummy butter and sugar mixture. So I'm mixing it with the second egg now. And just do that for a moment until it's all mixed in and making that nice, creamy, light and fluffy. Okay, there we go. So then I pop in a little bit of vanilla. It's a bit of a slurp for me, but probably a teaspoon of vanilla. I love the flavour of vanilla, so that's all good. And then you're going to sift your flour in. So that's 2.5 cups of self-raising flour. Now in the past I've just plonked my flour in, but the trick is with sifting is that it aerates the flour and there in turn aerates the mixture. So it's kind of a good helpful hint. Not mine, I can't own it, but let's call it Kath's helpful hint. Alright, so pop your flour in through the sifter. And we're just going to mix up that to combine. And then I have 1.25 cups of milk ready here. Pop that in with your flour, butter and sugar mixture and just beat all of that up to combine. The cupcakes are the mixture's really quick and easy to make, so that's kind of a good thing. So there we go, I've kind of mixed that in pretty well with my beater. So I'm just going to take the beater out now, pop it over out of the way, and I'll just use my spatula to make sure all those bits around the side are also combined well. So there you go, you've got this lovely creamy cupcake mixture ready to go in your patty pans, your cupcake patty pans to go in the oven. Here we are, beautiful mixture. And as I say, it's a great recipe because it makes loads of them. Okay, so now I've got my lovely colourful party bake cups in there, and you just put a little bit in at a time, and like so. So I usually use a dessert spoon and a teaspoon. That helps to not make a big mess, hopefully. So there we go, just a little bit into your cupcake patty pans there, like so. And probably fill them up like 3/4 of the way, because they do rise with all that lovely self-raising flour in them. Whoopsie. Here we go, stand it up again. Okay, so that's like my first batch, and I do them in batches rather than putting 2 tins in the oven. It's just that I find when I put 2 tins in the oven, probably my oven, because it's not a really fancy pants one, is that if I put 2 in, then they don't cook evenly, so you get like brown bottoms and white tops, and I like mine nice and even. Alrighty, so there we go. So that is the first 12 cupcakes to go in, and that was pretty easy mixture. So let me go over that again. So you get your 150 grams of butter, and you whisk that up with your electric mixer until the butter is nice and fluffy. And then you put your 1.5 cups of caster sugar in, and keep mixing it with your beater until that's all combined and gone nice and creamy. And then you can add your bit of vanilla, your 2.5 cups of self-raising flour, and your slurp of vanilla. I love that vanilla flavour, so yeah, it's about a teaspoon, but I usually slurp it in. So these cupcakes are now ready to go in the oven, and you bake them not long, probably 20 minutes, but I just keep an eye on them really until they're rising and getting slightly golden brown on the top. So I shall see you again shortly. Kia ora, and welcome back to Cooking with Kath on a really windy, chilly, grey Hawke's Bay day, which is a bit unfortunate. Our summer seems to be on pause at the moment. Anyway, we do have a birthday in the family, so that's a happy thing. So as I said, I've made all of these little vanilla cupcakes and shared that recipe with you. So they're fully cooled down now and ready to be iced. So today I'm going to just show you how to make that icing. So I just have my bowl here, and into the bowl goes 150 grams of softened butter. So just make that butter, have that butter nice and soft. So pop that in there, like so, and then you're going to put your icing sugar in. You may have your own recipe for icing, but this is the one I like, and it makes a good quantity, enough for the cupcakes that I've made, and that ended up being about 22 I counted this morning, so I wonder where that went. Anyway, icing sugar, that is 2 1/4 cups of icing sugar, so that can go in here. And then all you need is, again, my yummy vanilla. Now you do have to be a little bit careful with how much you put in, because if we put in too many fluids, then the icing sugar, the icing will be a bit soft. So probably, yeah, about a teaspoon, just like that. And then you need 2 tablespoons of milk. 1, 2, and that's it. So now I'm just going to whisk it up with my electric beaters till it's all combined, beautifully combined. I hope you've got lovely plans wherever you are today, in Aotearoa or anywhere in the world really. Something lovely that makes you feel happy, makes you smile. Okay, here we go. Whisk that up. You can whisk it till it's nice and creamy and goes a bit of a lighter colour to the top of your cupcakes, and that doesn't take too long. If you prefer, you can whisk your butter first until it lightens, but as you can see there, mine's are lightening up as we speak. Here we go. That looks like a pretty delicious butter icing for my cupcakes. Now, got to be careful not to let that fly off my whisks everywhere. I'll just pop that over there. Alright, so now I am lucky enough to have a piping bag, just because I had a few from some things I used to do in the past. But you don't need one. You can get them from the supermarket. These ones are from like Gilmore's or something like that. Or you can use just a little snap-lock bag, just as easily, just as well. A great outcome. But I will use this one today And I'll just find my little piping nozzle, which is here. So I use this little one here that looks like a serrated edge but comes out as a nice sort of flowery look. So excuse me, got my morning coffee. Lovely. So I just chop the end off my piping bag here, put my nozzle in the bottom, make sure it fits well. As you can see, if I need to cut a bit more off I can, but look, that's pretty perfect, well done. So and now just, I've got this spoon here, and just put your icing into your icing bag like that, put it all in, and look how lovely and creamy and pale that icing is now. So look, that took all of 5 minutes. I mean, admittedly I had prepared some of the ingredients, but not long at all. Alright, so I'm just going to set that aside, and now I'm just going to line up my cupcakes on my board here so we can ice them easily. So there they are, lovely things. Pop them on the board, and that just makes it a little bit easier for me to ice them. Here we go, lots of lovely cupcakes. So then you've got your piping bag ready. Just give that a bit of a turn so that all of that mixture gets right down to the end, and let's have a go at icing these cupcakes. So just as I say, you've got that, turn and squeeze as you go, just like so. There we are. So cupcake icing just round and round, and a little bit of thing in the middle there, looking pretty good. And as much as these are relatively quick and easy, they do go down a treat. People really like them, kids and adults alike really. And actually they can be sort of lovely adult treats depending on what you like to, you can choose whatever icing you like on top and whatever decoration as well. We can make that a more adult focus, but in a nice way. All right, so I'm just going to keep icing each of these cupcakes, and I predict we've got exactly the right amount of icing. Probably more because someone nibbled on a cupcake I would suggest last night. All right, so I shall be back in a moment. Okay, welcome back. As you can see, I have all my cupcakes iced here, and now I'm ready just to decorate. Now, I've got some fancy decorations just because I've had them in my cupboard, and I do love to do quite a bit of baking, but they're quite expensive. So whatever you've got, really, hundreds and thousands, there are fancy hundreds and thousands these days, but whatever you've got and whatever you can, that's what within your budget is fine. But I have these little red hearts, which are just pretty gorgeous, and because it's for our lovely Bellaboo, we're gonna use some of those hearts today. So just put a few hearts on top there, some there with hearts. Then I've got a selection of little sprinkles. How many would you do? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 with hearts. Aren't they gorgeous? 6 with hearts, and then I'm going to use some of these selection of sprinkles that I've got here. So here we go, the good old hundreds and thousands. Put them on top of a couple. Good old hundreds and thousands. I've got some of these brightly coloured yummy sprinkles. Let's put some of those on, brightly coloured. And then I've got some pink sprinkles, a couple of pinkies, Here's some nice blue ones. Nice blue ones. And they just look so cute and cool. And you know, people are immediately kind of drawn to them, and makes you feel good when you've shared something like this with your friends, for your friends and family. It's nice making other people feel good too. Well, I get a lot of joy out of it. Some nice purple ones, and it's kind of my happy place. I love cooking and baking. Makes me feel happy, so generally that happiness is spreads across to others. Okie dokie, so oops, missed a couple there. Let's put some of these colourful stars on. Here we go. And lastly, some of these are going to roll off, I bet, but no, there they go. So there you go. Thank you for joining me for Cooking with Kath. We've made birthday treats, vanilla cupcakes with lots of lovely sprinkles for icing. Thank you so much for watching. If you choose, please subscribe to my channel, and a big happy birthday to our Bellaboo today, who's turning 13. We love you heaps. Ngā mihi.